This is Jackie, and I'm here with Half Alive, day 2 of Firefly, hanging in, enjoying some nice shade, which is kind of a rarity in the festival world. Your debut album, Now Not Yet, is not ready yet. It comes out next month in August. How is it an evolution since your 3 EP? I'll hold it for you.
Oh, okay, great.
I'll do the work.
Yeah, awesome. Let's see. I think the EP three was kind of an introduction to a couple different genres of music that I think this has evolved in a way that we're continuing that process of kind of finding things that we really like and the sounds we really like, but then kind of keeping it broad. And I think that's kind of the aesthetic we're going for in general.
Everybody's shaking their head, yes, I'm going to take that. So your single, Runaway, how does it represent your overall sound?
Can I take it? Sure. I just think that the lyrics are really meaningful and impactful, as well as the music is very intentional and exciting, and we're kind of joins all three of what we bring to the table musically, and I think that's at least a couple of cornerstones of our music.
Yeah. Feels fresh.
Yeah.
Feels really fresh. Like both the music and the lyrics are like, I haven't heard much stuff like it, and I think it feels much like us.
So speaking of lyrics, do you find that your songwriting is more autobiographical or broad sweeping in general?
It's more of we think of kind of concepts that we want to kind of share that we're going through, or we find like family or friends going through that we're like, here's a different way of viewing that. So I think that's kind of the approach we've written for songs so far.
So as you have a new album coming out, what role does music streaming have?
I think it's a really important role because that's what the majority of listeners are doing now, is doing streaming. And so, well, I mean, from the technical standpoint, like making the music as high quality as we can, and preparing for like the evolution of music. And so when, I think it's not even an if, I think it's when music becomes more hi-fi that we have those files ready. Like that's a really like technical aspect of it.
So does terrestrial radio still have a place, like listening to the radio in your car, or do you think we're all sort of going to jump over to some sort of streaming service?
I don't think everybody will jump over. I think there'll always be people that listen to the radio and just like other people curating their like listening experience that day. But yeah, I think streaming will only get bigger.
Well, was it important to make an album that sends like one cohesive message, or something that's more diverse and showcases all of the things you can do?
I think for lyrically, it was important for us to share a similar message, with Now Not Yet being kind of the cornerstone of that entire message. But I think musically, it was important to us as well to kind of grab a couple different things to kind of feel a little bit more broad in that approach.
So we're out here at Firefly. How do you go about choosing your set list for a festival where you've got a bunch of different audiences? I mean, Travis Scott is playing today, so you got a little bit of everything.
Right.
How do you go about creating your set list for a festival versus a show that you're headlining and you know that your fans are there to see you?
I think there's just a few options that we have because we don't have that many songs right now.
Yeah.
So we're almost playing all of them, but the few choices that we did have, we just tried to choose the ones that are most engaging as a first-time listener, because a lot of these songs are going to be new. And so the ones that just are a bit more jarring and need that like album listening experience, we are saving for the tour. But the ones that are just easy, captivating and right away.
Is there a song you'll never play live?
The Happy Birthday song?
Not yet. Yeah.
All right, so what's up next for you guys after Firefly?
Next, we are finishing up the album. We're still working on that, so we'll be mixing that, and then we'll take kind of a week to rest before we kind of jump back into all the things the album kind of entails. Yeah.
Stay tuned for much more from Half Alive. This is Jackie. Thanks to In the Key of Change, Chorus FM, and the Vinyl.